I think it kind of speaks to the level of cruelty and death and suffering that the Palestinians live under, because there are so many of them being killed every day, quite literally every day, that I thought that I already knew who you were talking about. Turns out this is someone else who was killed today. And this is very interesting, because if you read the article here, which is from the Times of Israel, or any other thing, and most articles from mainstream media, they'll say that he was shot dead because, he was attempting to start a fire on the highway, or he was, posing a security threat. Here's the problem with that. In occupied Palestine, breathing is posing a security threat for the Israelis, right? Just existing is a security threat. So, oftentimes they misjudge the situation. They're on edge, which is normal when you're illegally occupying someone else's land. They're nervous. Sometimes they do it for sport. This is something horrific that we've covered before. They were even shooting not just disabled Palestinian men, but just Palestinians in general for sport, right? They even brag about this, and of course, many of them die or are crippled, disabled for life. So, for example, in the Right to Return marches, this is a policy. It's not just an accident. And the other day, this really sucks. I'm talking to you guys about the news, and in the back of my mind, I'm going, oh, what crap? Can I say these words? Is YouTube going to come and throttle the live stream because I said such and such? How the fuck do you want me to report about this without using these words? I mean, it's not the explanation of it that is terrible. It's the crime itself that is terrible. Do you understand? So in any case, I just wanted to highlight that the other day, in Gaza, they were doing these protests at the border fence. Although, again, it's not really a border fence because all of it is Palestine. But anyway, as they call it, the border fence. And, we talked about how 2 Palestinians, 40 were injured and 2 Palestinians were in critical condition, right? And the Israeli sniper, who was also shot through the wall with a pistol, was also in critical condition. And it turns out that all 3 of them have passed away from their injuries. So for the better part of a week, they were all in hospital. Not the same hospital, but just in hospital and fighting for their lives. Their names are Omar Abul Nil, 12 years old, and Usama Duyij. They've Latinized his name, so I'm not sure what I'm reading, but he's 32. And so they've both died because of that. And the Israeli sniper, who was, I don't know if he shot them, but he definitely shot several Palestinians, dozens of Palestinians. He's also died. And of course, if you go and you look at the IDF, the Israeli Occupation Forces Twitter, what do they say? They only mention that, this hero has tragically died. They don't tell you he's a fucking sniper, that he was shooting Palestinians. And they certainly make no mention of the 2 Palestinians who were killed. Not necessarily by him. There are obviously others involved in this, on the Israeli side, shooting people, but nevertheless, they have died. And so this is something that is, this is what happens in the occupation, They are killing people all the time, and it goes unreported. I bet you didn't even hear about this in the news, right? It's just, why talk about it, right? This is very sad. Here are their pictures. I think you can finally see that now, right? So they've passed away, unfortunately. And this is emblematic of what they do all the time, on the border fence, as it's called, in Gaza. They were killing people all the time during the Right to Return marches in 2018, 2019. They killed hundreds of them, right? And thousands were injured. And, it's just like nothing happened, Other countries have been sanctioned for less. They've been invaded for less. And the United States is like, oh, really? You're doing this with our weapons? Here, have some more. It's really disgusting. It's really disgusting. In any case, Allah yarhamah.